Let me guess, Arch still sucks, right? What's going on, everybody? My name is Daniel Augustin. This is Multi-Hyphenate AF. Before I move forward, really quick, let me just say, I would appreciate it if the 90% of the people who just be watching these videos and aren't subscribed, tap that button right there and just subscribe right quick. Let's be a community, you dig? As I move forward now, let's go ahead and chop this up really quick. I want to talk about Texas and Mississippi State. What a fucking game. Guys, if me cursing pisses you off, let me know. I might not stop, but just let me know. I might try to clean that up, being in media and all that. No, listen, seriously. What a game. What a game. I think it's pretty clear now for all those haters that are out there. I think they're still going to be haters because hating is a career. Hating is something that once it gets in you, it's hard to get it out. So there are still going to be haters who are going to just find a way to be like, man, it's Arch's fault that the game was even this close. It shouldn't even been this close. Fuck Arch. I'm sure there's going to be haters out there that are going to find a way to make that happen. Like there's somebody, I don't remember their name, but if I go through some of my old comments, I'll find them. They try to find me every single time. When Texas struggled with Kentucky, they came back to comments just to be like, see, I told you. It's so foolish. I think it's got to be clear to everybody, though, that Texas is struggling on the offensive line. They don't got it put together on the offensive line. Hell, they struggling at wide receiver. They don't got no real number one right now. They trying to treat Wingo like he is one, but you see it. Drop after drop after drop. Come on, Ryan. Just shit together, man. Got 3 downs to try to keep the ball moving. Dog, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. They blaming your quarterback for everything, and you over here dropping passes, making it harder on him, making it harder on the team, making it harder on the O-line. Them boys clearly cannot stay on the field the entire time and dominate play after play, and you out here dropping passes. Get your shit together, Ryan. Let's talk about this game really quick. 45-38 in overtime. Mississippi State is clearly the kind of team that is going to play you very tough. Mississippi State is the kind of team that, honestly, if I was in the SEC or any conference, I would want Mississippi State to be the team that my team scrimmages against. I want to scrimmage against them because they play you so tough, yet they can never really finish. So you're going to find your way through. You're going to come to see yourself as a team that wins tough games by beating Mississippi State because they're going to play you tough. They got 2 very good wide receivers. If I could just say their name off the top of my head, I think one, his name is Anthony Evans, and the other one, Thompson and Evans, I believe is their names. Number 0 and number 3, I think it is. Ballers. Those are the 2 main guys that are keeping Mississippi State in these games. They also got a pretty good running back with Booth. He averaged 4 yards a carry, and for whatever reason, Texas only ran the ball 12 times with Wisner, and Arch ended up compensating for their only 12 carries with Wisner by throwing the ball 46 times. I heard somebody in a video say something like, because people are just trying to get rid of excuses for Arch. They're trying to make it clear that he sucks. I don't know why people want to be passionate about him being trash. I don't know why that's a thing. When people talk shit about Shedeur, I don't think it's people wanting to talk shit about him because of Deion. I think they bring up Deion because they can see how Deion is becoming his crutch. But I don't see why Peyton Manning or Eli Manning or the Manning family should affect people in the way that they are. But anyways, I heard somebody talking about how Arch is, how did they say this? They said Arch, oh my God, what did they say? They said Arch is... They said Arch isn't good. And when somebody said to that person, they said, this is only his first year as a starting quarterback. The person was like, this is his 3rd year at Texas. This is his 3rd year in the same system. All right. So there's a big difference between me talking about wanting to do a show and then me doing the show. If I show videos from like my first time doing this, doing my multi-hyphenate show, it's going to look so much more different. The lighting isn't the same. My approach isn't the same. The intro isn't the same. The outro isn't the same. The editing isn't. Nothing's going to be the same. Things have been developing and evolving. But I've had the idea to do this show for how long? For so long. Just because Arch has been at that school and been at that system, it doesn't mean he's been the fucking starting quarterback, taking every fucking snap in the huddle, every time, throwing the ball for 46 times, amassing 346 yards in the air. And I'm sure he had some on the ground too. I don't have it right here in front of me, but I'm sure he did. And people still find it in them to throw dirt on this man's name as he's developing. Yeah, he's developing. He's still developing. Josh Allen played football for a long time, and his first season in the NFL was a mess. Interception on interception. Brett Favre, interception on interception. There's a process to this shit. And this is the first time he's a starting quarterback in the SEC. I don't give a fuck how long he was at Texas. It's not the same just popping up and then all of a sudden getting your chance to play. He needs time to develop in the system. He needs time to develop with his wide receivers, and they do not have any elite wide receivers who can clean up any of his messes. He's learning the hard way. It was much different for him last year because he was playing with a team that was more experienced. 4 of those offensive linemen have gone to the NFL. 2 of those wide receivers have gone to the NFL. Oh, by the way, that tight end, Gunnar Helm, gone to the NFL. That's 7 people I just named on the offensive side of the ball that they had to replace. Nobody don't want to talk about that, though. Everybody just want to talk trash. Just throw dirt on his name and just make it seem like it's his fault. Bro, this is not on him. That offensive line is barely giving him the time. And he's still just trying to make plays, so sometimes he overcompensates for the lack of time that he's not going to get. And he's trying to make a play happen. He ends up holding on to the ball a bit too long on that play. Sometimes you're seeing him make that throw quickly. One thing I really like about him, though, is I see just how he's moving in the pocket, how he's sliding in the pocket and making plays happen. I just think that he's got some real skill that is being it's just being overlooked in every way possible. And now, it's hard for me to say anything else about Mississippi State aside from their stats. They're a average team that plays very hard. I think they have underdog syndrome. They're always the underdog. I don't know what game they pop off and they're the favorite. They're always the underdog. But they're a spirited bunch. You know, this is the kind of team where honestly, a majority of the guys on that team probably end up hitting the portal after this season. Hard for me to say that a lot of those guys are just going to stay there. But they got great tape. They're putting out great tape. So some of them, they probably won't try to hit the portal. They'll just leave and go to the NFL because they've made a name for themselves. You know, Dak Prescott came from Mississippi State. It's a good football program. There's some pieces there. There are some things there that just kind of need somebody there to connect those dots a little bit. Get the right coach in there, get the right quarterback in there, and all of a sudden you got something. You feel me? Because they could have beat the Gators. Give them the right quarterback, they beat the Gators. Give them the right quarterback, they might mess around and beat Texas. If John Mateer was at Mississippi State, they win both of those games, in my opinion. Because maybe not John Mateer. Maybe there's another quarterback out there who understands the game a little bit differently, a little bit better, who knows how to play time of possession. But ultimately, man, look, Texas is fighting. They're scratching. They're clawing. They're doing what you would want your SEC team to do. I'm not a Longhorn fan. So for me to be sitting here talking about them like this, that's me giving props where props is due. They are fighting and clawing. They're giving themselves a fucking shot. Texas is one of them teams that still have a chance, dog. They got a chance to make the college football playoff, but they got a chance to go to the SEC championship. They ain't got but one loss in the SEC right now. Now their schedule is not about to get any easier, right? Because they got Vanderbilt coming up. Don't even know if Arch is going to play right now because of the concussion. That's huge. Huge. They got Georgia. Then they got Arkansas. Arkansas plays everybody tough. Arkansas's offense can give that Texas defense some fits, dog. Texas ain't played against no quarterback that can move like Green. and then they got Texas A&M. Can Texas win out? What do you think? A part of me feels like they could pull this off. But maybe that's the part of me that wants the chaos. I don't know. But the fact that they're still alive right now, you got to give them props. I think they could beat Georgia. I think they can beat Vanderbilt. I think they can beat Arkansas. I don't think they can beat Texas A&M, but it's a rivalry game. It's going to be played at Texas in Austin. I don't know. Let's just say Texas wins all 4 of these SEC games. Texas is going to the SEC championship game because they're going to own the tiebreaker over Texas A&M. Texas has a chance to move Vanderbilt out the way once and for all. Move Georgia out the way once and for all. Get their act together against Arkansas, and then move Texas A&M out the way and mess around and face off with Alabama. I don't know. Maybe all that's just crazy talk, dog. That could just be crazy talk for sure. You let me know what you think. If you think it's crazy, write crazy in the comments. If you think I'm on to something, write I'm on to something in the comments. First of all, if you even do that, that lets me know that you got to this part of the video, which is just super cool. But what will be even cooler than that is if you liked, commented, and ultimately subscribed. Because 90% of the people who watch this video, watch my videos, are not subscribed. So I'm off on this note right here. I'm here for all of the Arch slander because I believe that he's getting better. I believe this guy is a young Josh Allen in the making, and he's getting right now a crash course in being a quarterback on a struggling team. Everybody knows Texas is going to have a top 10 recruiting class. So next year they're going to get better, and he's going to get better. They're going to definitely hit all of the things that they're messing up on right now. They're going to get the receiver. They're going to get the O-line. And here's the craziest shit. Shout out to Ryan Niblett, by the way, because we're not here talking about this right now without Niblett. So shout out to Niblett. But here's the craziest thing. Despite everybody talking as much shit as they're talking about Arch, despite everybody saying what they're saying about Arch, this team is 6-2, dog. They're 6-2. They only have 1 loss in conference play, and they lost to 2 teams that were ranked within the top 15 in the preseason. They lost to a Florida Gators team that's stacked with talent and that was starving, hungry, desperate, and then they lost to Ohio State 14-7. Despite how much trouble he had, imagine if he was hitting those passes. What would have been the score of the game? That's how I think about the game. I think about the game for what can be. How Kamala said it? I forget how her thing goes. Babe. How she said it? She'd be like, what has been unburdened by... You know what I'm trying to say. Hey, yo, let me know what vibe you on. Are you... Let me know, man. Thanks for watching this video. Peace.